Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy, The Aspiration, again. Uh, for quite some time now, we all know that social media has been on fire. Social media has been on fire with pastors fighting against themselves, even people who are not pastors. Like it's like there's battle, there's battle, cat and rat fighting. Recently, let me just say from this year, it's been up and down on social media. I know a lot of pastors are actually angry. A lot of pastors are actually angry over people going against prosperity preaching, simply because one thing I know is that most of them are fighting simply because they haven't heard from the cake yet. Simply because most of them are still upcoming. Most of them are still upcoming. They haven't benefited from this prosperity gospel. I see them. They are fighting with each other. Whenever people post against this, post against that, I'm not going to call any pastor's name, and it's not my duty to do all of that. When someone posts something, you see them come up with their own message, and this is the problem we are having, where everybody have their own interpretation to things. This one brings this. Nobody is saying something alike. None of these pastors are saying something alike. That is actually my problem with it. Where we said we are serving one God, everybody have their interpretation. How will that work? How do we think it will work? That you have your interpretation. If every pastors that are fighting against this thing, they are all saying one word or one message against whoever that is saying it otherwise, it would have been better. So it comes to my knowledge that they are fighting because they haven't eaten from the cake yet. They haven't eaten. If you see the big pastors who have made it through ministry and all of that, since this whole thing started, most of them don't even talk. If you look at the people who are fighting the pastors who are fighting the people that are against this, let me use the word upcoming pastors. They are young pastors that are not even known. We just see their name. They just pop up on Facebook and all of that. You begin to ask, oh, was this pastor existing and all of that? Everybody is coming to speak against it. One thing I want to say is this to pastors or to ministers. If this gimmick, if it has ever touched you before, if it has ever happened to you or happened to your children in any way, you will see reasons to those people who are angry. If your child has ever come to you and complained to you that one pastor or the other, one minister or the other played on them, took money from them, you will see reasons to understand those people who are complaining. Don't forget that those people who are complaining, these are victims. These are victims of this prosperity gospel. These are people who most of the preachers have played upon. They've played upon. So when they are angry, you think they are just talking or they want to mess up the name of pastors and all of that. No, most of them, I'm not saying all of them. I know there are a lot of people who are against Christianity there who just want to see the downfall of Christian or church and all of that. But most of these people complaining are people who are victims of it. Even myself talking, I've been victim of it several times. Why? Because this is Christianity, this is God, this is the gospel Christ here, whereby anyone who brings it to you, because they have mentioned God in it, because they have mentioned Jesus in it, we will believe them, because we were made to believe. We were made to believe whatever that comes to our ears, as far as it's God, as far as they said it's God who told them, we will believe. So most of us, a lot of people are victims of this. So don't blame them when they are venting their anger against such preaching. Don't blame anyone when they are venting their anger. You can defend all you care. If you're not careful, you'll be insulted. You will be insulted as a pastor, and they will drag you out. Are we trying to fight the gospel of? Are we trying to fight for God? Are we trying to fight for Jesus? No one is talking to you. Why are you pained as a pastor? Why are you pained? Are you trying to defend the gospel? Do you have the whole energy? Do you have the whole strength to do that? Do we have the whole energy and strength to do that? Why are we pained? Let people vent their anger. Let people vent the anger. Are we not the one who is preaching that vengeance belongs to God? Why are you trying to take vengeance in your own hands? Like I said before, these are victims of these prosperity preachers. Has your car ever been taken from you before? Have your house ever been taken from you before? Have a huge sum of money ever been taken from you before by them telling you it is God who said you should bring it, and in 2 weeks time you will get it double fold, or you get it in 1,000 fold? Has that ever happened to you before as a pastor? Has money ever been siphoned from you by these fake pastors and prophets everywhere? Like I said, I'm not saying every one of them. Has these things ever happened to you before? Has your money ever been siphoned from you before? Telling you when you give, you will get it in 1,000 fold. And you believing them, you did that. You respected them, and you honored the word of God that came from them, and you gave it, and it never happened. All the promises, all of them never happened to you, and they come back to you and telling you you are the one you never believed. That is why it never worked. As far as I'm concerned, I've seen pastors preaching and praying, saying, come on, I don't care if you believe it. If your faith cannot carry you, my faith can make it work. And when you come back to them and you tell them that I gave my car, I gave this house, I gave my house paper, I gave money and all of that, but what you said never come to pass. And they will tell you your faith was not strong enough for it to work. I always say this, for God to tell you as a pastor that someone should bring his or her car or his or her house or a particular amount of money, at least they should be the person. If I was to be in that shoe of a pastor, I'll say, go and pray about it. So if God is the one who told me to tell you that same God should speak to me that you should go and give that person something. So there's a lot of gamings. There's a lot of games happening. There's a lot of games happening when it comes to the gospel. People are taking advantage over people believing God, believing in the name of God, believing in the word of God, and when it comes from a man of God, they will believe. Don't blame anyone. Don't blame anyone venting their anger. You don't know the situation they are in. You don't know what have touched them. You don't know who have played on them. You don't know what they have given that never came back. Not the one who gave from their heart willingly. The one who was prophesied upon, bring and it will be given to you, and it never happened. And you want them not to talk about it. This is an opportunity for people to rant. This is an opportunity for people to get angry and speak their mind. They've been waiting for this opportunity. People have been scared. If I say what will happen to me. And most of these pastors, prophets, and all of that, they come with threats, telling you if you don't do it, this is what will happen to you. So they put fear in the mind of people. People have been quiet all this way. People don't know how to speak out because of the fear that have been placed in them. Now there's an opportunity for them to speak out. So don't blame anyone if they are venting their angers. Don't blame anyone if they are venting their angers. But the truth is that, you know what, as a father, as a pastor, as a prophet, as an apostle, as an evangelist, as whatever you said you are called to be, you have children that are growing. You have children that are growing. But do you know what? They said karma will always come. Your children are growing. One day, they will be in higher institution where you as a pastor, you don't have a branch in that school. They will be under another man of God that is going to skim them of their school fees. Because you have trained them to believe in God, that when anyone who told them or gave them a prophecy concerning them giving their car, giving them money, giving them their school fees, they will give their school fees. And they will come back to you that someone has played on them. I hope I hope you will recall how you have done that to other people. You have children that one day they will grow up, even before getting married, they will be on their own, and they will want to be in other congregation that you don't have a church in that environment where they move to. Another pastor will play it on them. I will see how you will feel. You know why I'm talking this way? It has happened to me several times. My simplicity to the word of God, my simplicity to ministries, they have taken advantage over me several times, to the extent that I find it difficult to even go to church, because I don't know who to trust anymore. I don't trust anyone. I only go to the churches I go to now are people who I know very well, that from beginning of their ministry, that I know that these people are not capable enough to do that, and I'm able to even talk to them, caution them if I see that they are trying to do some gimmicks or trying to play some games. Those are the places I'm comfortable going to. So know that one day your children will grow up and they will be victims, and you will bite your fingers. You will bite your fingers. You are angry that people are venting out their angers. Do you know what has been taken away from them? Do you know what pastors have done to people? People have used their school fees to give to a pastor. People have given their rent to pastors. People have given their only cars to pastors. People have given their only houses to pastors. I was listening to an influencer that does a program where a pastor said this guy should bring his Lexus Jeep, and he gave to this pastor. The pastor said in 2 weeks he will get it back. God is going to give you something that worth more than that. He counted 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, up to 3 months. Nothing came out, and he went to meet the pastor. The pastor told him that he never believed or he never trusted in God, that thing can happen. And they took this pastor to the court. And as far as I'm concerned, after much ado, he refunded it. I think he bought another car or whatever. He gave them the money that what the guy took, he siphoned from them. So this might touch you one day. It will touch you, or it will touch your children. It will touch them so bad that you yourself as a pastor, you will feel it. You will feel it. You will feel it. You will feel it. My concern is, why you as a pastor, why are you fighting over it? Why are you fighting over it? Is today the first time people are speaking against the gospel? How many times have we come out in mass this much to talk about it? Because it has to do with money. Because it has to do with money. Now, the only chance for you to make, and I see that most people are just doing this pastor thing and answering their calling because it's the only last chance they have. They've tried all they could do in life. No one is working, so they feel that it's high time to answer their call, because they are aware that there's money in opening a church. Why are you angry over it? Why are you angry over it? Why are you angry over it? Why not leave everything for God to handle? Why not leave everything for God to handle? How many times have we come in mass to fight against when people are saying Jesus is black or Jesus is white? How many times have we come out to fight against that? But we are so much in this because it has to do with money. We don't want to let go. My concern is this: the God who called you, the sincere God who called, or the God who called you sincerely into ministry, he knows how to provide for you. He never asks you to use games. He never asks you to use gimmicks to collect money. That is why once you are into that, you will keep doing it. Because why? You have shifted away from the God who called you. You want to do things to yourself. You want to make the money to yourself. The God who called you knows how to provide for you. The God who calls you knows how to make you a millionaire. Know how to make you a billionaire, knows how to touch people's hearts to give to you. Not the games that we are doing in churches now. As a pastor, as a prophet, as an apostle, how well do we take this, that people no longer go to church? People don't want to hear about God. When you talk to people about Jesus, they tell you, come on, leave that thing. Forget about it. These are all games. People are opening church for business. How does that sound to us? Does that sound well to us? Isn't it high time for us to adjust things? If we said God truly called us, why can't we just preach the gospel and forget about the games in it? You know what? We will be doing this, but there's always karma to it. There's always karma. You will be dragged. You will be dragged. I know most of us don't even have conscience anymore to even care what will happen. But it will get to a point whereby they will catch you as a pastor. People on the street, they will stone you. They will stone you. They will stone you. They will see your car. They will stone you. It will get to that. It will get to that. It's not going to end only in the government side. It will come to pastor. If you look at the world now, the things that are most spoken of, it's either government or religion. So these are the two places where people have gathered their anger in. So be defending nonsense. Be defending wrong. One day they will come after you. They will stone you. They will stone you. They will come to your church. They will put petrol, fire in your church, because they feel that you are defending the wrong gospel. And trust me, God will equip people to do that. Once he knows that you're actually one of those bad eggs, he will equip people. And you know, people will do it. Not even Christians, not even believers. It's people of the world that will come after you. So keep doing it and keep enjoying. Keep defending wrong things as a pastor. Keep defending it.